that there were no compensations to the Akosombo Dam spillage victims. Mr. Speaker, the NDC, even in opposition, led initiatives that resettled these victims. It led initiatives that built clinics, schools, fed the victims. When His Excellency the President Akufo-Addo got there, he said they didn't vote for him, and therefore he had no way to care for them. This is the record of this country. Mr. Speaker, that said, let me commend the Minister for Finance for coming to this House in fulfillment of his constitutional obligation under Article 179 and also the
Doesn't get any better than that.
Act, Act 91, Section 301. The Speaker, he came and delivered the budget on the theme resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Mr. Speaker, having read through the budget statement and economic policy, I'm convinced that a lot of deliberate thinking was put in place to be able to come up with this economic policy. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the sections that relate to agriculture in our country, Mr. Speaker would realize that there is a deliberate agenda to see how we can block a loophole that we've observed in our budget statement in the last few years. Mr. Speaker,
the proceedings are still pending and the public is urged to disregard all publications to the contrary as born of mischief and misinformation.
Office of Special Prosecutor dismisses claims that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been removed from the list of Interpol Red Notice. Tonight, we bring you details of a statement from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, the quest by former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono to have the ECOWAS court stay the work of Article 146 committee suffers yet another setback as her case is dismissed. And later,
is at this time, GetFund will provide the financing for free senior high school. An amount of 42 billion has been allocated.
Ghana Education Trust Fund GetFund to the rescue of the free SHS program as government allocates 42 billion Ghana cedis to the initiative for the year 2026. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. Coming up in business.
Producer price inflation drops to 1.4% in October.
Eyewitness News is live on our affiliates across the country, around the globe. We are on citinewsroom.com. Talking about affiliates.
In the Western region, we are Premier FM 100.5, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, all in Takrady. In the Bono region, we are Greener 95.9 in Sunyai, and in the Ahafo region we are Hamas Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. Moving to the Ashanti region, we are Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are Akbini Radio 96.7 megahertz in Kpando and Heritage FM 107.3 in Hohwe. In the northern region, we are Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East region, Word FM 88.3 in Zwarungu, Pure 100.5 FM in Navungu, and in the Upper West region, we are Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. In the Northeast region, we are Eagle FM 94.1 in Waliwali.
Your comments are welcome on the WhatsApp number 0549 986 996, 0549 986 996. To our first story. Now, this morning we had reports that the International Criminal Police Organization, also known as Interpol, has removed from its website the red notice alert it issued on former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. The report is that Interpol issued a red notice earlier this year at the request of the Office of the Special Prosecutor after Ken Ofori-Atta was declared a fugitive by the same Special Prosecutor. The Interpol's decision to remove the red notice followed investigations into circumstances that led to the OSP's request for it to be issued when there was no charge against Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. When this particular issue came up this morning, the Office of the Special Prosecutor issued a statement, and it says, in October 2025, The Commission for the Control of Interpol's files notified Ghanaian authorities that accused Ken Nanaya Ofori-Atta has applied for the removal of his name from the Interpol Red Notice. The Commission requested Ghana's response to Mr. Ofori-Atta's application. Ghana's response was duly submitted on the 22nd of October 2025. By communication dated the 7th of November 2025, the Commission for the Control of Interpol's files notified Ghanaian authorities that the accused Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta had filed additional arguments in Anadondum, and the Commission requested Ghanaian authorities to file their response to Mr. Ofori-Atta's additional argument by the 21st of November 2025. The proceedings are still pending, and the Commission for the Control of Interpol's files is still studying the case. During the pendency of the proceedings, the applicant's name, image, and details are often radiated from the public view until a final determination is made. The statement says the public is urged to disregard all publications to the contrary as is born of mischief and misinformation. This is a statement issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor after media reports today that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta has been removed from the Interpol Red Notice. Let's go on to the phone line and speak to Mr. Frank Davis. He's lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. Yesterday we spoke to him, but on a different matter. Today I was speaking to him on this particular statement issued by the Special Prosecutor and the media report we had this morning that indeed Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta's name has been removed from the notice. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. My first question to you, is your client still on the red notice from what you know, sir?
I didn't hear a thing of anything you said because your line dropped. So can you... Hello?
Mr. Davis, can you hear me?
I said I didn't hear a thing of what you said earlier before you were posing the question. So can you come back again because your line dropped?
Okay, I was reading to you the statement issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor in respect of...
Can you do that again? Can you do that again? Because I never heard anything.
Okay, so I read to you again.
Thank you.
It says, in October 2025, the Commission for the Control of Interpol's files notified Ghanaian authorities that accused Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta had applied for the removal of his name from the Interpol's Red Notice. The Commission requested Ghana's response to Mr. Ofori-Atta's application. Ghana's response was duly submitted on the 22nd of October 2025. It continued. By communication dated the 7th November 2025, the Commission for the Control of Interpol's files notified Ghanaian authorities that accused Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta had filed additional arguments in Andondum, and the Commission requested Ghanaian authorities to file their responses to Mr. Ofori-Atta's additional arguments by the 21st of November 2025. The statement says the proceedings are still pending, and the Commission for the Control of Interpol's files is still investigating the case. During the pendency of the proceedings, the applicant's name, image, and details are often radiated from public view until a final determination is made. The public is urged to disregard all publications to the contrary as is born out of mischief and misinformation. This is the statement issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor after media reports this morning says that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta's name has been removed from the Interpol Red Alert. And my question to you is that from where you sit and from what you know, is your client still on the alert of the Interpol, sir?
Good evening to your esteemed viewers and cherished listeners. From the get-go, this is a publication in reckless futility. It's a publication in very reckless futility. The Office of the Special Prosecutor should respect the intelligence of Ghanaians. And you see, they should stop this scandalization of the office. So what is the import of this publication? Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta. His name is not on any red notice alert any longer. His name is not there. No amount of spinning of language on it would change anything. In any event. Now the special prosecutor is telling us, the office is telling us these proceedings commence in October. The pointed question to ask is that when did it come to the notice of the office of the special prosecutor that his name had been pulled down? So if that was the case, why was the communication not done early on? Why is it now that the matter is in the public space, that his name has been removed? Then this childish and careless publication is made. I mean, if the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, is treating its office with candor, this information should have come into the public space long ago. When did they get to know that his name had been pulled down? When did the office of the special prosecutor get to know that Ken's name had been pulled down? So if this publication had not, if this matter had not come into the public space, were they going to come out with this publication? This gimmickry. The office should be treated with some respect. I don't think it behoves on the office to be doing what I mean. This presser and publication circle. It does not do them any good. It rather deepens their embarrassment. I mean, so what is it? So what is the end result of the publication? That his name has been pulled down. Oh yes, of course. So proceedings are pending where? Let us await the outcome of the proceedings the OSP is talking about. Okay?
But then from the
so far as we know, as lawyers for Kenneth Friata, his name has been pulled down. His name is no longer on the red notice alert. That is a matter of fact. Nobody can erase it. Even the office of the special prosecutor admits in their penalty paragraph. So what is new?
But then the same statement issued by the OSP, it more or less seems like it's a normal practice where the applicant's name and image are always removed until the final determination of the matter.
When did it become a normal practice? And I'm asking, when did the office of the special prosecutor get to know that it was a normal practice? So why was this not done earlier? If they knew, they came and said, the office said they had put Kenneth on the red notice alert. When they got to know that because of what is going on, his name had been pulled down, I would have thought that in the spirit of bona fide, good faith, the office of the special should have come out to say that yes, there are challenges to our application for the red notice alert, and that the Pro Commission is investigating it. In the interim, his name has been pulled down. Is that not the right thing to do for a public office which is being paid with the taxpayers' money and is living on the largest of states? Is that not what you do? Is that not what should be the case? Is the office one for which answer? Come on. I think the office should do better.
Mr. Davis, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Frank Davis is lawyer for former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, speaking to us on this matter. Let's just stay with the special prosecutor or the office of the special prosecutor, because private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu appeared before the special prosecutor today. Remember yesterday he spoke to us on Eyewitness News about an invitation extended to him by the office of the special prosecutor over some comments he made about the office and the work of the special prosecutor himself. Today he honored this invitation and he joins us on the telephone to tell us what really transpired at his meeting with the special prosecutor today. Mr. Kpebu, thank you very much for your time. Would you be kind enough to tell us what really happened at your meeting with the special prosecutor today? Mr. Kpebu, can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
So I was asking that, could you be kind enough to tell us your meeting with the special prosecutor today? What really happened?
Okay, so the hearing is an administrative inquiry to get more information from me on the allegations I made. Okay, briefly, that the special prosecutor is corrupt. That number 2, he colluded with Oforiatta to abscond from Ghana. And I raised a third issue that there's conflict of interest in respect of the officer who is handling the SML investigations, right? Yeah, they also said that OSC had become a crime scene. So these are the things I said on TV3, for which reason he says I should come and give further clarification. So when we went in, we raised some preliminary objections. You know, when you're going to do such a committee to take further evidence, etc., there are rules to make sure that the work of the committee will be very useful. So what I did, my lawyers' help was to raise some objections to make sure that the process will be very legal. So as a result of the objections, when we say objections, meaning that we cannot just start giving evidence when certain ground rules have not been obeyed. Yes, there are, justice. When you say justice, there are rules that we use to achieve justice. So if certain rules are not being obeyed, you have to make sure that you sanitize that area before you attempt to go into the matter. If not, you'll get into trouble. You get into trouble. So we raise those issues, and so they will resolve them, and then they will invite us to come, and then we'll continue.
Have they announced another date for you to come back?
No, they haven't. So they say when they are ready, they would invite us. But in the meantime, what we should be emphasizing is that Ghanaians need to get up and exercise their civic oversight over the OSPO. We need to get up and exercise that civic oversight. When we say civic oversight, just like you hear parliamentarians telling you that they have civic oversight over the executive. So you should have Parliament holds the executive to check all those things. But we, as the sovereign, we, the owners of Ghana, we have the responsibility to hold all public institutions to account. The OSC, the special prosecutor, the SP, has come to tell us that he saw Oforiatta leaving Ghana. And the steps he took are incompetent steps that suggest collusion. And Ghanaians are seated. Ghanaians are not getting upset. What is this? The man tells you the Oforiatta, everybody knew Oforiatta is public enemy number 1. All the things he did when his brother Akufo-Addo was president, we knew that by all means, corruption cases will catch him. And yet there even at least one will get him. And yet Kisi Ojabi has the temerity to inform Ghanaians that he saw Oforiatta preparing to leave, and he took certain steps. Now he even indicted several public institutions, and we are quiet. He's saying that NIB did not cooperate. Well, I've spoken to some people in NIB at the time who are denying it. So that's another. But NIB as an institution has to respond. Kisi Ojabi is saying they didn't cooperate at that time. He said national security did not cooperate. Immigration did not cooperate. That's how come Oforiatta fled. And these institutions are quiet and are quiet. Come on, we're going to have this matter. It's not just.
Hello, Mr. Akpabu.
Of us as citizens, we have power over the public institutions. So now the head of one public institution has come to lay an allegation against the rest, and we are allowing the matter to just die. It's even a matter that should attract Article 278, the public inquiry, public commission. He's saying that these institutions did not cooperate. So what you should be interested in, it raises very serious issues of governance that. When Akufo-Addo was president, he muscled all these institutions. They did not work well. So what should we do? We should have a public inquiry. And apart from that, Kisi must lose his office because he allowed this guy, Oforiatta, to flee because he didn't take the right steps. He took all the wrong steps. He knows how to organize press conferences. Didn't Kisi Ojabi organize the Ankwa Numa press conference? So when Oforiatta was fleeing, why didn't he organize a press conference? Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. That, hey, Kisi Ojabi is about to flee, or people of Ghana, what do you want to do in this case? They will decide. Kisi sat on this information, sat on it, until people kept increasing the rhetoric that no, there is collusion. I only joined the bandwagon later. I remember initially, when people were raising issues of collusion, I couldn't join. I remember Umar Rusanda asking me on Citi FM, one of the days mid-October, getting to the end, that Martin, don't you think there was collusion? And I told Umaru that, because I'm a lawyer, if I join, people will berate me. People will bash me that as a lawyer, you should ask for evidence. So I didn't join. But later on, you see, I joined, and then he put pressure on TC to come and answer, and he came to confess. So now that's the best evidence. Thank God that it was video. So you see his face in the interview saying that he intercepted the letter Ofuriatta wrote to the outgoing chief of staff and the incoming one. He gave them letters. Ofuriatta gave them letters. And then Kisi Ejabin got a copy. Then he ran to NIB. NIB didn't help him. He went to National Security. He went here. Meanwhile, but he didn't disclose to the people of Ghana. For that alone, not allowing Ghanaians to exercise civic oversight.
Okay.
Civic oversight.
Okay.
Kisi Ejabin has to leave.
Martin, we understand that you had issues with the OSP because of a number of lawyers you went in there with. How many did you go there with?
At that time, my lawyers were 2. And then the other lawyers were on their way. Yeah, so the officer, a very junior officer, said I could come in with only 1 lawyer. So my lawyers straightened him. They told him that, no, that's not the rule of law we operate in Ghana. I can have a very reasonable number. And that reasonable number, as I sit here, I think at least somewhere around 15 should not be bad. And even possibly more. But I think 15 or below should not raise questions at all, because I know the OSP office and I know some of the conference rooms, they are big enough to take more than 15 lawyers. So if I choose to even go with 15 lawyers, it shouldn't have been a problem with them. So we straightened that junior officer, but I see that because he's junior, we need to draw the attention of the special prosecutor. But here in the case, he's even the one we want to leave. Maybe we'll send it to the board.
Okay.
So he said, no, I won't address any letter to him.
Okay.
Because he should be out of that office.
Okay. Martin, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Martin Pebu is a private legal practitioner. Let's just stay on this matter and speak to Samuel Apia Dakun. He's Director of Research, Strategy and Communications at the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Mr. Dakun, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm afraid we don't have Mr. Samuel Apia Dakun on the telephone line. He's the Director of Communication Strategy and Research at the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I want to speak to him on Mr. Martin Pebu's invitation to the Office of the Special Prosecutor today, as well as the Interpol Red Notice on Mr. Ken Ofori. Earlier we spoke to his lawyer. I'm told Sami Dakun is back on the phone line. Thank you again for your time, Mr. Dakun.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, let me just clear the air on something. I noticed that people come on the show and they're able to talk a lot of things without them being questioned on it. Typical one is what Martin Pebu was ranting about. If you've been invited to the office because you made specific allegations of corruption against the head of the agency, who is the special prosecutor, and also against the office, and you are invited to come and assist with the investigations, you stick to the facts. It has nothing to do with you saying that whatever narration the special prosecutor might have given suggests to you of connivance. Once you were very specific and you say that the special prosecutor connived with Ken Ofori-Atta, you have made specific allegations and you need to assist with the investigation. No amount of trying to water it down and change what you had said and bring in unnecessary accusations again and try to behave as if you are stronger than everybody in this country will work. You can come to the office with even 100 lawyers, but if they have to take you in, say, in an interview room and it can only take, say, 2, it's only 2 lawyers that it will take. Even if you came with 100, the rest of them will have to wait. So this whole drama is unnecessary. You have made specific allegations against the special prosecutor and the office, and you are supposed to help with the investigation. That's about it. Now, going around and all that, as whether the special prosecutor had said that he did not receive enough cooperation in the previous administration and that Mr. Ofori-Atta left when the former president Nana Akufo-Addo was in charge, and at that time he had written a letter to the then Chief Justice, to the then Chief of Staff, who is Fremont Pare, and he had given an excuse that he's going for medical tourism. And you say that then we should have sounded alarm bell to all Ghanaians to come and arrest in Sufuriata at the airport. We don't talk like that, even as lawyers. We don't talk like that. There are chains and there are processes. If a person submits an excuse to the Chief of Staff and he gets clearance to travel, yes, the person will travel. So those things that he wants to always confuse the public because he's run a lot of public commentary over the period and has gained some level of acceptance does not mean that you should take the benevolence of the people for granted. And that's something that you need to degenerate and start being insulting of, say, the occupant of the office and the office itself. After all, we are all fighting corruption, and it's important that we build integrity in the system. And this is the reason why the OSP, which is the body that investigates corruption, would have to go into this in order to let the public know whether the assertions are true or not. So that's just, by the way, I wanted to clear the air that we shouldn't take the benevolence of the people for granted, and we shouldn't degenerate and talk anyhow and make accusations anyhow just because we either don't like the occupant of the office or we've been fed with misinformation about the occupant of the office or even the operations of the office.
Okay, Mr. Daku.
Now to my substantive issue on the Interpol red notice.
Before that, is going to be my next issue though. But before that, what prompted your postponement of his interrogation today?
There's nothing like interrogation. I told you that the Office of the Special Prosecutor is mandated to look into allegations of corruption and corruption-related offences. As we speak, the office is the one that looks into that. So anytime there are allegations of corruption, the office would have to go into it to establish the facts. We've done this so many times, involving politicians, involving journalists, involving ordinary people, even when people in certain positions come and say that somebody even gave them or offered them a bribe, would want to know and go into it. So that is our job. It's a job that we do all the time. And let's also, I notice that when people are talking, they are always confusing the two. The head of the agency is called the special prosecutor. He's separate. There are a lot of directors, equivalent of police commissioners under him. There's a deputy special prosecutor, then a number of staff. So we should always separate the occupant of the office from the office itself. But because the names are quite similar, so the office itself is called Office of the Special Prosecutor. That has a number of staff and divisions that do the daily job. So when allegations are made, yes, those officers will go into it and all that. So let's separate the two.
Okay.
And so it's not an issue about anybody trying to witch hunt somebody. It's our daily job.
Okay. On the same matter, Mr. Daku, on the same matter, is it not strange that the special prosecutor or the office will be inviting Mr. Kwebu over to provide evidence of an allegation he has made against the same office?
No, it doesn't. What you are saying doesn't fit into the scheme of things. As I've told you, the office is the office that investigates corruption. When allegations, the office is not a trial of facts. When the office finishes its job, it has to put it before someone who will make a final determination, not the office. So this issue, I heard people say Nemo, Judah, and Korsad, but I cannot be a judge. Those are all non-fact. They are not applicable. The office is doing an administrative investigation into allegations of corruption. We don't determine.
But Mr. Daku, what is the assurance that you'll be fair in this matter when allegation is made against the same office? What is the assurance that in your investigations you'll be fair?
Yeah, that's why it's always done. Even for police, when there's an issue against a police officer, it's still the police officials that will look into it. That's why we have processes and institutions. When he came there, he told you that he raised certain objections and then he was given an opportunity that he will come again and all that. So that's what it means by transparency and fairness. And he will attest to it that is the process. So it always has to go through that. Now, let me move on to Mr. Frank Davis. Respectfully to Mr. Frank Davis, I think that he shouldn't behave like the ivory tower of knowledge or law. And the insulting language with which he addresses the office and again the occupant of the office is unbecoming of a lawyer of that standard. And I think that he has to check the way he talks. When this is not the first time the OSP has placed people on Interpol red notice. When we're investigating former President John Mahama, there were 3 other suspects that were in the United Kingdom, and they were placed on Interpol red notice for close to 6 years. And while they were on Interpol red notice, occasionally they will challenge why they are still on the red notice. And then Interpol will write to the office through Interpol Accra to justify why the people should remain on the red notice. These are done all the time. And so it is, and this is not the first time Mr. Foriata is challenging his presence on the red notice. This is about the second time, or maybe if you add the further argument he's making, that will make it like 3. So the first time he challenged it, we justified it, and he was restored on the Interpol red notice. He has challenged it this time around, and we have been asked to justify it, and Ghana will justify it. So these are things that happen all the time. It's the Office of the Special Prosecutor that was able to place him on red notice based on an arrest warrant that we lawfully procured. An arrest warrant, Mr. Foriata has been fighting it and filed over 7 suits that we've been able to successfully defend majority of them, except that he has appealed on all of them. And he's challenging, which is normal. Anybody you declare fugitive will not be happy and will keep on challenging he being on the red notice. But it is also up to the law enforcement agency to also justify why the person should continue to remain on the red notice. It is not a do or die affair for law enforcement agencies. These are the things we do when we want to extradite a fugitive back to the country. You must necessarily do some of these things. So it's not as if someone hates Mr. Foriata. It's just that we have to go through the processes that will ensure that we are able to extradite Mr. Foriata back to Ghana. And he's also free with his lawyers to raise objections as to why he should be on the red notice. And I noticed that just because his name has been redacted and restricted from public view does not mean, and I noticed some people thought it's a great, big success for them and all that. You can even be removed from Interpol red notice today, and tomorrow you can be placed back on it, because all the law enforcement agency needs to do is to file what we call a fresh arrest warrant and put up the reason why they need you to be brought back to the country. So this is not something that people have to rejoice over it because someone has been removed, or that it means that the OSP is incompetent or something. If the OSP was incompetent, why would he have successfully placed people on red notice in past investigation and done so this time? Remember, he was placed on Interpol red notice within 48 hours, which is even a record time. So the OSP, I would like to say this, is very competent and knows what it is doing. The OSP is not struggling for relevance.
Thank you.
If you can indulge me for 1 minute, the OSP is not struggling for relevance. What the OSP is doing is that it is executing the mandate that Ghanaian people have given to him. Except that it takes a while because the OSP is fighting corruption, and corruption is one of the biggest crimes to fight, and it fights back. There are so many people we have seized their property. There are so many people we are investigating. They are not happy. They are not comfortable. They are complaining to people in power and authority and wanting that the OSP should stop what it is doing. We hear in the corridors that the OSP is bad for business. And it is because the OSP is doing its work.
Mr. Dako, thank you.
OSP a bit of time.
Mr. Dako, thank you. I'm racing against time, so thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Samuel Apia Dako is Director of Strategy, Communication and Research at the Office of the Special Prosecutor. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We go for a quick break. When we come back, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, has moved back to the High Court with a new application seeking a new bail condition for the former managing director of BOST.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This Christmas Eve, skip the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. Welcome to the Situation All White Party 2025, where the music never stops, the energy never drops, and the fun never ends. Celebrating grand style with great music, irresistible food, and an atmosphere that screams good vibes only. Date 24th December 2025. Venue Good Park near the Accra Mall. Time 8 p.m. till late. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. Get ready for electrifying live performances from Kofi Kinata, Perez Music, Inchin Chin Band, and DJ Mingle. Wear your best all-white fit. Bring your dancing shoes and let's light up the night together. Book your tables now. Call 0205-973-973. It's Christmas Eve. Don't miss it. The Situation All White Party 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, Bethel Logistics, and Hallmark Cafe.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow their most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509-551-609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Who is calling me this other one?
Hello. Good evening, Kwame.
Good evening.
We are into baby foods and would like to introduce...
Wait a minute. How did you get my number? You just use ways and means to find people's numbers and be calling them by heart. No respect for privacy or anything at all.
Oh, Bra Kwame.
Is your business privacy ready? Do you collect and use information of people in your line of work, like their name, number, location? You might be doing the wrong things. Whether you're a big company or a small one, you must respect people's right to privacy. Register and be certified by the Data Protection Commission of Ghana. It is the law. You will receive the necessary training, advice, and guided on the right systems to put in place to help protect information you collect about people. Register your company. It's simple and online. Visit www.dataprotection.org.gh to register. Privacy is the responsibility of everyone. Remember, privacy is personal.
The Kakamotobi come out in the festive season and they are as scary as our bills. But we don't want to miss out on parties, family and festivals. Whether you say Akwaba, Maraba, Wezo or Obake, EcoBank says tap into 5s in the 5-star enjoyment promo. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes. 1-year insurance cover, gift vouchers and more. That's not all. Use your EcoBank card, mobile app, USSD or POS to transact and enjoy up to 15% discount. Tap into vibes with EcoBank. T's and C's apply. Bill shouldn't scare you. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
EcoBank will never call or text asking you to verify sensitive information like your PIN, Ghana card or bank card information. Pay better attention to details.
Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more Super. And the Polytank we did. Polytank, papa no no, 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 Ankasa.
The best.
Oh, Jopana.
Gogo, the gogo. Gugomi, and what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind said, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
The gogo.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. A few of your WhatsApp messages. Jones Adoboinla says, we are watching with keen interest. We just hope come 21st, the authorities responsible will respond accordingly. Baba Chairman in Tamale said, when it's coming, it is doing, as they say. And this move by the Interpol on the Kenufuyata matter is what we are looking for. It's the beginning of the failure of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Criminal trials are done at the law court and not in the media space. Akapo in her comment says, the OSP is only pretending to be working hard in the Ken Oforiatta matter. His recent business for nothing attitude must not stop Martin Kpebu and the rest from talking. Abi National Yuwa says the Office of the Special Prosecutor is not serious. I'm calling on the president to sack him and bring somebody else. Final one, Sami in Georgia says Akufo-Addo and the MPP must not advise Ken Oforiatta to come back to this country to face the OSP. Their behavior and action emphasize the fact that Akufo-Addo Bawumia government was involved in a lot of things. Ghanaians did not like them. That is why they voted against them in the 2024 general election. Let's do some other stories. And the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has moved back to the High Court with a new application seeking tougher bail conditions for former Managing Director of BOST. Only days after his lawyers successfully secured a reduction of his bail from 60 million cedis to 30 million cedis with two sureties. The former MD, who was arrested last week Monday at the Kotoka International Airport, was attempting to travel to Mozambique, is under investigation for alleged causing financial loss to the state. My colleague Hansen Ajima joins me in studio for more on this. Hansen, thank you very much for your time. What more can you tell us?
So what we know is that the court on Thursday, November 2025, will hear this particular motion coming in from the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO. We also know that of the lawyers, from lawyers for the former BOST MD, in the person of Edwin Provençal, had been working at meeting the new bail conditions. We actually told, we've actually been told by the lawyers that they've met all these bail conditions. That's 30 million bail bond, two sureties to deposit his passport at the court registry, but he has still not been released by EOCO. And now we have this new information from the affidavit we've seen coming in from the Economic and Organized Crime Office. They are saying that the bill, as was varied by the High Court, did not make the sureties to be justified. And so what they meant was that just two persons were supposed to come forward and say we are standing surety for Edwin Provençal. They are seeking for variations to include justification of the bail bond, where properties will be presented and those properties will be valued to determine that they indeed are up to 30 million Ghana cedis. And aside that, they are also seeking from the court that they should give reporting days for Edwin Provençal. That is, he should be reporting to EUCO from time to time, as we've seen in other cases that are being investigated by EUCO, and also in other bail issues that have been given by the court and other security agencies. And so the point here is that EUCO is saying that the variation from 60 million to 30 million with two sureties and to deposit the passport is not enough. And their argument is premised on the fact that the bail, bond, and the surety is a civil contract between the state and the sureties. And so if it is not stringent enough, then it becomes difficult in retrieving those monies from the sureties when in the unlikely or in the likely event that Edwin Provençal absconds from the country and refuses to subject himself to EUCO interrogations.
Hansen, thank you very much for your time. Hansen Ajama is our colleague and our court correspondent, bringing us the latest on EUCO and this matter. Let's just stay in the courts because ECOWAS gave a ruling on an issue having to do with the former Chief Justice of the Republic.
Well, the ECOWAS Court of Justice has dismissed former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu's request to halt the work of the committee that investigated her removal, but also rejected Ghana's claim that the court lacks jurisdiction. The judges ruled that although she established a prima facie case of human rights violations, she failed to show urgency, noting she waited 3 months after her suspension to file the motion. The request for temporary prohibition was therefore dismissed.
Let's go on to the phone line and speak to Ni Ayuko. He's the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Republic and lawyer for the former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu. Thank you very much for your time this evening. First of all, tell us your reaction to this particular ruling from the ECOWAS Court, sir. That is not a response we were waiting for. My producers will try and raise Ni Ayuko Otu back on the telephone line. He's lawyer for the former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu. He's also a former Attorney General and Minister of Justice for the Republic. We're speaking to him on an ECOWAS ruling today. We're happy to do with the former Chief Justice, where the ECOWAS Court of Justice has dismissed former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu's request to hold the work of the committee that investigated his removal, but also rejected Ghana's claim that the court lacks jurisdiction. The judges ruled that although she established a case of human rights violation, she failed to show urgency, noting that she waited 3 months before filing the motion. Ni Ayuko Otu joins us on the telephone line again. He's lawyer for the former Chief Justice. Thank you very much for your time, sir. My friend, I was asking you what's your initial reaction to this ruling from the ECOWAS Court of Justice?
Well, for us, it is not no news of any West. One, because our lawyers in Nigeria had already written to the court saying that the government of Ghana is not respecting the cases that are pending and has been going ahead and doing all sorts of things that would prejudice the hearing. So the conclusion there was that they should just forget about this interim measure and go ahead and give a date for the hearing of the substantive matter. Now, you do recall that the applications were filed in July. Yet, by 1st September, she had been removed from office. So what is the point of going on with the application if the government had decided to show some respect to the judiciary and to the court of ECOWAS? They would have stayed their hands. So it's nothing. I mean, we ourselves are written to say so, that they should just forget about it and give a date for hearing. What is newsworthy, in my view, rather, is the point that the government took, that the ECOWAS court had no jurisdiction in the matter. Their conclusion being that there were cases pending in Ghana which had not been dealt with. And therefore, while these cases were still pending. It amounts to saying that there are internal adjudicating bodies handling the matter, which had not said they had concluded it, and so there was no point for us to go there. But then we kept explaining to them that when it comes to violation of human rights, it doesn't matter whether a case is pending elsewhere, they won't listen. And they went and filed a motion challenging the jurisdiction, and that has been dismissed. And the court didn't just dismiss it, but went further to say that leadership had proven a prima facie case or established a prima facie case that her rights have been violated. So they want to hear the matter. That's the position.
Very good. So many people have asked, what really is the end game? Is it that after this case, you expect the court to rule that the former Chief Justice be reinstated and have her position back? Is that really the ultimate?
Well, we have, when they started doing things to fix the court with fear accompli, we kept warning and saying that they should stop. You saw what happened during the vetting of the Chief Justice nominee. All that the minority were saying is that why don't you just hold on and let's clear some of these cases. And yeah, doctor would not say it when I vetted, received a report, and swore in. So if anybody has issues, it's the government of Ghana which should tell us why they are behaving in this way, including the Poama Committee, which had 3 petitions to deal with, having dealt with one. They rushed and went and presented their report when they had actually adjourned their other cases to later dates. Realizing the futility of what they had done, they didn't go back again to hear those other petitions anymore. So ask yourself, what is the government about? Especially when she was suspended and then this same person was made the acting Chief Justice. What was the issue? He could continue to act, but yet bent on making sure that he had been rather made a substantive Chief Justice and sworn into office, notwithstanding all the cases that was pending. So they have a case to answer. We have made a point. I mean, as lawyers who fight for others, it remains on our part if we are unable to fight for ourselves. So what we would have done for others who are non-lawyers is what we are doing for ourselves as lawyers. The Chief Justice, remember, was a lawyer before becoming the judge.
So I go to, there are many who have also said that enough is enough. You fought enough. You fought so hard, and it looks as if there's no light at the end of the tunnel. To the extent that a new Chief Justice has been sworn in. Why don't you just give up? It looks like the fight, is not going anywhere. How do you react to people who say this?
When the then Supreme Court of the First Republic ruled that the human rights provisions in the Constitution are nothing more than just some kind of declaration that is given by the President, they are unforeseeable. Dankwa and others went to court. They tried whatever. They filed several applications today. Some of them are being praised as human rights champions because of the role they played, notwithstanding that they were getting issues along the way. Same happened to many of the American cases where the blacks were looking for equal rights. They went, they were thrown out. They went, they were thrown out until eventually they said, well, equality means equality. Let's all go and attend the same school and let's stop all this nonsense and apartheid. So it's good to fight. If nothing at all, set the record straight. Let those who come after you come and look at it. said that she did not walk away. And she pointed out to the whole world that there was an agenda. Assuming we had not put up this fight, people would have believed that they had a good cause. Immediately afterwards, we punch holes in everything they have said. Out of over 24 or something grounds, they said they found only 3. All the 3 grounds were useless grounds which could not stand the test of any time. So it's good to fight. Good to fight. They asked me, that's what I'll say.
So I'll say a big thank you for your time. Ni Ayiko to former Attorney General and Minister of Justice and a lawyer for former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. When we come back from the break, we'll do business.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana Cedi into 500 times more, and the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
My hands are champion, creating temptation, 100% natural kivo, ginger, garlic, onion, no salt, no MSG, no preservatives, steam them natural, chicken, fish and meat, yes,
Kivo 3 in 100% natural ginger, garlic, onion powder, incredible aroma, champion taste. This advert is FDA approved.
Ginger, garlic and onion, 3 in 1 kivo.
Flight 715 is now boarding at Gate 4.
Welcome to the Stanbic Bank app that makes you live a lot more like
topping up my electricity before ECG do me yawa.
That's smart. And you have to send mom money. Forgot?
Easy. We'll just transfer from the app.
We are about to take off.
Okay, let me also enable my travel notice.
It was that easy, huh?
Complete. Now I can use my card abroad without it getting declined.
Hey, you forgot to pay your water bill. The guys are outside to disconnect.
Wait a minute. Water bill payment? Done.
Why you lucky?
Charlie, my Stanbic Bank app sorting me back to back.
Level up and do more with the Stanbic Bank app. Download now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Visit stanbicbank.com.gh or call 0302 815 789 to get started. Stanbic Bank.
Christmas, my favorite time of the year.
This festive season, Volta Serene Hotel invites you to experience the magic of Christmas and New Year like never before. From 20th of December to the 1st of January, step into a world of joy, music, laughter, and celebration. We begin on the 20th with a soulful carols night, filling the air with warmth and melody. Then, on 23rd and 24th of December, arrive in style as we welcome you with fresh coconut and local treats. Christmas Day brings pure delight, exciting moments for kids, relaxing escape for adults, and an elegant all-white dinner under the stars, crowned with a spectacular fireworks display. On Boxing Day, embrace culture and rhythm, from picnics and traditional dance to an unforgettable high life and old school night. As the week unfolds, enjoy movie night, live music, karaoke, and endless fun. until we welcome 2026 with a breathtaking fireworks show on New Year's Eve. Special Christmas packages starting from 4,050 for individuals, 5,250 for couples, and 8,900 Ghana cedis for a family of 4 for 2 nights. Call or WhatsApp 0541 539 867 or 0362 025 243 to book your experience today. Volta Serene Hotel. Feel the serene touch.
Hey, Ruben. Every 2 seconds notification. The Momo keeps on coming. It keeps on coming, eh?
Ma, I am the community Momo man now. People send money, and with the Momo app, every payment is done. My transactions are flying.
Hey, Adeng.
Ah, ma, you didn't know, eh?
Over 2 million Ghana cedis is up for grabs in the Stillman Saka promo. Transact more than 100 Ghana cedis with your Momo app, and you could win daily, weekly, and monthly cash prizes, and 100,000 Ghana cedis grand prize. And it's not just payments and money transfers. Bank to wallet transactions, savings, loans, investments, pensions, POS transactions, and Momo transactions from other partner platforms qualify. This promo runs in collaboration with the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
This November, elegance comes alive at the Ambassador Ballroom of the Movenpick Hotel, Accra. Experience a night of fine dining and classical artistry with Guy Bertrand K, Kokui Selome, and the Afro Maestro Orchestra. Enjoy a luxurious 4-course dinner with wine pairings crafted to perfection. Tickets are 1,800 Ghana cedis, but grab your early bird for just 1,500. Join us on Thursday, the 27th of November at 7 p.m. for a celebration of music, culture, and pure sophistication. Reserve now. Call 020-433-3136 or 0302-611-000. The Movenpick Classical Music Night, where every moment is pure elegance.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Melody Fafa. But to further details of our stories now. Producer price inflation has recorded a sharp decline, falling to 1.4% in October 2025, down from 3.2% the previous month. This represents a 1.8 percentage point drop. Here's more.
Fresh figures from the Ghana Statistical Service show that the decline was driven mainly by a significant slowdown in the mining and quarrying sector, the largest component of the index, with a weight of 43.7%. Producer inflation in the sector dropped steeply from 5% in September to 0.7% in October. The manufacturing sector, which makes up 35% of the PPI basket, recorded a modest rise from 1.7% to 2.5%, though still far below the 22.7% recorded a year ago. Meanwhile, the transport and storage subsector continued its negative inflation trend, slipping further from minus 8.2% to minus 8.8%, indicating a deeper reduction in producer prices during the month. The Statistical Service is recommending that the government directs incentives towards firms that expand capacity while addressing persistent bottlenecks in energy, transport, and logistics.
That was a news desk report filed by Nilati Lati. Away from that, the Ghana Revenue Authority has proposed January 1, 2026 as the start date for implementing the government's new VAT reforms. The reforms outlined in the 2026 budget by Finance Minister Dr. Kasia Latuforsen includes the removal of the COVID-19 levy, a reduction in the VAT rate from 21.9% to 20%, and the reintroduction of the GET Fund and NHIL levies into the main VAT structure. Speaking at the 2026 Post-Budget Forum organized by PwC in Accra, Commissioner General Anthony Sapon said the current VAT bill is before Parliament, adding that he is hopeful it will be passed and assented to before the end of the year.
So in spite of the VAT
reform that we're doing. The bill is currently before Parliament. We are hoping and expecting that we will get parliamentary approval before the rise for the Christmas season, and hoping that the President will also be able to assent to it. So if all these plans goes well, we'll expect that the implementation should start 1st January 2026. But we will be working with the business community and start engaging to make sure that we plan well and give sufficient time to ensure that those who have to reset their systems are reset, and to ensure that they also get ready for the implementation. So we'll be coming back to you, but the overall plan is to try and get the act passed before the end of the year, and then we can plan for full implementation for January 26.
Anthony Sapon is Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Moving on, the President of the Actuarial Society of Ghana, Kofi Ntim, has urged stakeholders in the financial and insurance sectors to prioritize capacity building to cultivate more professionals for the actuarial industry. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Actuaries Connect conference in Accra, he highlighted the urgent need to train and retain young actuaries to ensure the sustainability of Ghana's financial services sector. He noted that the country continues to face a shortage of qualified actuaries, a challenge that impacts the quality of data, risk assessment and decision making within financial institutions.
Ghana lacks the number of actuaries in the market. So, for example, in some of the Western countries, there will be about 50 actuaries working in a company. But here in Ghana, we struggle to have even one qualified actuary in the various companies. So we need to be able to find a way where we can actually build capacity in terms of people to be able to generate the up-and-coming actuaries to be able to build their capacities for future actuarial work. And secondly, because there's lack of actuaries in the various institutions, what that does is that it helps affect the data quality. Because if you have an actuary in-house, it makes they have a view of the type of data, how the data should be cleaned, how the data should be handled. And so with lack of those resources, it affects other areas of the various companies and industries.
Kofi Ntim is the president of the Actuarial Society of Ghana. Now, Danish ambassador to Ghana, Jacob Lenov, says Ghana stands to unlock significant value in its agriculture sector if it expands cold chain infrastructure to reduce persistent post-harvest losses. He noted that although the country has vast arable land, farmers continue to lose a large portion of their produce, a challenge that undermines productivity and income growth. The ambassador made the remarks at a seminar under the Embassy of Denmark's Cold Chain Strategic Partnership Project, which aims to deepen collaboration on modern and commercially viable cold chain solutions.
Ghana is much smarter than Denmark in many, many ways, but not yet when it comes to the cold chain. But I've also been a little bit sad by some of the things that I have seen, and that especially comes to the agricultural sector, right? Food loss is, it's just an extreme challenge in the country, right? Because you have a very fertile land. You have actually the opportunities to grow so many different crops, even harvest 1 or 2 times a year and all these things, right? But it doesn't really matter if a lot of the harvest is just wasted, right? So there is a lot of food loss in Ghana, sadly. And that also affects, obviously, the economy of the farmers. Because if you're not able to sell your products, or the products are not consumed, it actually represents a loss. So obviously, if the food products were not rotten on the farmlands and were sold instead or consumed instead, obviously the economy would be much stronger for the whole agricultural sector. Huh?
That was the Danish ambassador to Ghana, Jacob Lenov, ending Citi Business News. On Eyewitness News, I am Melody Fafa. But if up next is Point Blank.
People of Ghana, prepare yourselves. This is no ordinary Black Friday. This is the Black Friday that refuses to end. And as the cedi rises against the dollar, Electroland is dropping prices even more. Double blessings. From today till the end of December 2025, visit any Electroland showroom or authorized dealer for massive Black Friday deals on Samsung, TCL, Midea, and Nasco appliances, smart TVs, fridges, ACs, washing machines, cookers, microwaves, and small kitchen appliances. Enjoy buy one, get one free on selected items. Yes, real bug off. Imagine buying one small appliance and getting another. Your neighbor will think your house is now an appliance boutique. Plus, the ultimate Achedia Kessia promo continues. Buy anything and enter Electroland's ultimate Achedia Kessia draw. More gifts, more surprises, more joy. Call 050-315-9739 or visit electrolandgh.com. Electroland, home of luxury but affordable electronics. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Ugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
This Christmas Eve, skip the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. Welcome to the Situation All White Party 2025, where the music never stops, the energy never drops, and the fun never ends. Celebrating grand style with great music, irresistible food, and an atmosphere that screams good vibes only. Date 24th December 2025. Venue Good Park near the Accra Mall. Time 8 p.m. till late. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. Get ready for electrifying live performances from Kofi Kinata, Perez Music, Chin Chin Band, and DJ Mingle. Wear your best all-white fit. Bring your dancing shoes and let's light up the night together. Book your tables now. Call 0205-973-973. It's Christmas Eve. Don't miss it. The Situation All White Party 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, Bethel Logistics, and Hallmark Cafe.
Make a choice. Go for it. You need support to achieve. A new verse awaits you. The Republic Verse, where you're treated as uniquely as you are. Succeed, thrive, outshine yourself. This is our verse, the Republic Verse. Join the Republic Verse and big up. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, and this is Point Blank. Point Blank on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions. Tonight on Point Blank, the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced that the free senior high school program will now be financed through the GET Fund. He says the government has allocated some 42 billion Ghana cedis for the program for the year 2026 academic year. At a press conference here in Accra, Haruna Idrisu says GET Fund will now cater for the free SHS program.
And the budget is always done for and on behalf of the President of the Republic, which was his first budget. He indicated a major policy shift of financing free senior high school from the GET Fund, and not as was the case since 2018 till 2024, when education, particularly free senior high school, was largely financed from petroleum revenue of the country, annual budget funding amount of ABFA. So the shift is that this time, GET Fund will provide the financing for free senior high school. An amount of 42 billion has been allocated. When the GET Fund formula gets to Parliament, you will see the actual numbers. This will provide for the feeding of students and also provide for the provision of free tertiary education for persons with disability, which we hope that the Student Loan Trust, together with the yet to be established Ghana Scholarship Authority, will collaborate to see to the disbursement of that. I'm praying that in the next couple of weeks, the President will assent to the bill if Parliament finishes its part of the work and sends the bill for presidential assent in accord with Article 106 of the Constitution. So there will still be free tertiary vocational education. And that's why I said that the financing allocation for the Ministry of Education and its agencies may not be sufficient, but at least adequate for now and adequate within the constraints of the budget. Don't forget.
That's Ghana's Education Minister Haruna Idrisu speaking at a press conference here in Accra. Let's go on to the phone and speak to Kofi Asamoah. He's Executive Director of the African Education Watch. Mr. Asari, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you've heard about these figures. What's your initial reaction, sir?
Education receives 16.2% of the budget, inclusive GET funds, and it falls within the lowest, within the lower benchmarks for education financing. But then when it comes to GDP, it's way below the minimum threshold of 4% of GDP. That's about 3.1% of GDP. Looking at the challenges in the sector, at least in the short to medium term, one will require about 60 billion cedis to holistically address them. The funding available, there is little space left for infrastructure development at the tertiary level. Why am I saying so? the infrastructure backbone of the sector is GET Fund. There's virtually no capex in the GOG. GET Fund is now a net funder of funding source for Free Senior High School. So if you do 4.2 billion of GET Fund for Free Senior High School, that's about 42% of the GET Fund allocation for 2026. So by the time you begin allocating GET Fund to other interventions, basic, secondary, tertiary, you're going to have virtually something very little by way of support for infrastructure development at the tertiary level. Basic education finds comfort under DACF. This year, 2025, we've seen 261 primary, KG, and junior high schools being constructed under DACF. And in the 2026 budget, we've seen same allocation through DACF. So there's a level of comfort for basic education under DACF, but there's nowhere for tertiary to survive. And that's why I think that the allocation for education is inadequate, especially where the ABFA, which is the oil revenues, which normally was used to finance significantly Free Senior High School, is no longer available to the sector.
Now they say the GET Fund is going to, finance the free SHS program. Is it not going to put some level of pressure on GET Fund, considering the other objective of GET Fund?
Exactly the point I was making. GET Fund is funding Free Senior High School this year, and will be funding next year. Until GET Fund came in, it was ABFA doing about 65% of the funding for Free Senior High School, with the remaining coming from GOG. If now GET Fund taking 100% of Free Senior High School, it means that close to half of GET Fund, or 42% of GET Fund, will go to finance Free Senior High School. So another 1.1 billion has been allocated for the GSLIP, the project through end of water track in 2 years. If you add the two, this is our secondary education expenditure. You are doing about 55% of GET Fund to secondary. So by the time you go to TVET, you go to basic management and other components of GET Fund and the intervention budgets, you realize that there was very, very little space to support tertiary. And that's a challenge on our hands. And so the solution is that the government will have to look beyond budgetary support for GET Fund, for finance and infrastructure. It's a time that we need to be looking at innovative financing approaches, especially looking at diaspora bonds, looking at pooling CSR funding, and then aligning them with present key sector priorities, etc. But within the budgeting space, there's a gap. And if you look carefully, ABFA being taken off education was about 2 billion cedis off the education envelope, and that's huge. So we continue to make the argument that even though ABFA is now pointed at a big push, we still need some education projects to be supported under big push, especially at the tertiary level, now that we are seeing significant funding for basic education infrastructure coming from DACF. And the last one is about compensation. That is, for me, the biggest challenge in the tertiary space that has not been addressed holistically yet. At present, the entire tertiary sector needs over 50,000 teachers. At the basic level, about 7,000 teachers are needed at the KG level, and then about 11,000 are needed at the primary level. Between KG and primary level, we need about 21,000 teachers, let me put it that way. Inclusive junior high school will surpass 30,000. The challenge is that the fiscal space available in the 2026 budget is limited. I hear that we might be doing about 15,000 teachers. Okay. I don't expect all the problems to be solved in a year. Okay. Because we have an economy to manage. But the most important thing is that the juniors must appreciate that we have surplus teachers in many urban centers, where if we focus on teacher rationalization, we should be able to get about 2,000 teachers from the regional capitals alone, if we do it properly, so that teachers that we don't need in urban schools can be shipped to rural schools where their services are needed. Then we can optimize the compensation budget while managing the 15,000, which I hear has been cleared, so that we can optimize the use of scarce resources available to the sector. Spending efficiency is key. So if the minister is saying yes, they wish they could have gotten more money, that's fine. But within the 49 billion, we must see a high level of spending efficiency such that we have a high value for money for the tax city.
Kofi, if you say we should look at, beyond the budgetary allocation and look for other sources of funding, then the conversation about the review of the program, comes in again. I know very well that you were part of a committee that had to do a review of the country's education, especially the free SHS program. Would you be kind enough to share with us some of the other sources of funding you proposed in this committee's work, so it helps with the running of the free SHS program, which many people believe is draining, the public purse?
There's a proposal for GET Fund to look beyond statutory funding alone and look at private sector support, corporate Ghana support to complement our GET Fund you pay when you buy an item and you pay VAT. Okay, and I'm informed that GET Fund has not an aggressive fundraising drive and they're making progress both locally and internationally. That was one of the proposals. Second proposal was for us to look at how we can pull CSR. In this country, everybody determines where they put their CSR. Okay, a company can decide to go and build a KVIP or sponsor a beauty contest in the community and say that's my CSR. But we asked to what extent are these CSR initiatives aligned with pressing national priorities. So the proposal to government, and we've done a comprehensive research on innovative financing for education. We're going to launch it in the second week of December. One of the proposals is that we should advocate for a CSR law where companies earning, making profit beyond a certain threshold, I can say 50 million a year, will pay X percentage, 100 million a year will pay Y percentage into the pool as a CSR contribution. Then that funding will be aligned with key, priorities of Ghana, especially education and health. And that it shouldn't go into the main budget, but then the funding can go to the GET Fund and the National Insurance Scheme, so that it will be used to fund critical priorities in those sectors. So that's one of the proposals. The third one is endowment. Tertiary endowment is being considered. We've recommended in our reports that there are so many beneficiaries of Ghanaian scholarship in the past. It's time for us to create a database of all scholarship beneficiaries, both GET Fund, Scholarship Secretariat, you name them, so that they will be made to contribute, even if you are contributing 100 cedis every month or 50 cedis every month. If you have a system where there's a seamless contribution, through leveraging on digital technology, we will be getting some contribution from beneficiaries of scholarship, and more so, or most importantly, alumni endowments. It needs to be strengthened in this country at the tertiary level and at the secondary level. We've seen a good example in Achimota through the alumni endowment. They raised millions to do huge infrastructural projects. And so there are models that we have recommended to government to consider, such that when these models are built well, with the governance systems working well, and giving the participation assurance of transparency and accountability in the management of resources, the associated alumni at the secondary level, at the tertiary level, and at the basic level, and also CSR participating in supporting especially infrastructural projects in the sector. Not to talk about PPPs in the tertiary hostel space, which is not which is very regular in Ghana. So we need to look more in these areas other than overly relying on budgetary support, because the fiscal space is a bit constricting because of the tightrope we are working in an IMF economy. Yeah.
My final question, Kofi. Then the conversation again comes back that those who are willing and able to pay, should be allowed to pay. How do you stand by that proposal as well?
Okay, so yes, for example, on free tertiary, our advice to government is that it shouldn't have covered everybody. It should have targeted those who do not have the capacity to pay their tertiary fees and cover the full academic fees. We are always of the opinion that even when we are not faced with scarcity of resources, it makes sense, if it is possible, to target. And indeed, we have means testing mechanisms in the tertiary space to target students who are needy. That's the same means testing we are using to target the student loan. And so, yes, in all advisories, we have advised the government that it's important that when you target, you have the luxury of spending well and spending more on people who need support most, instead of spending partially on both the rich and the poor. It's very, very important. On free senior high school, on Sunday, when I had an engagement with Parliament, It was one of the topical issues that dominated our conversation at least Hotel. Whether we should keep prisoners with the way it is, or we should allow the rich to pay for fees, and then the poor, the rich to pay for their food, and then the poor to enjoy free. It's a conversation that will never end because it has assumed political dimensions. But as I say, Ghana is the only country in the world where secondary education in the public sector is boarding as a norm. And so far as we keep it in that way, we will continue to deprive other levels of the education sector of adequate funding, because we'll be spending 3 times or 4 times more on our secondary education than even advanced countries will be spending on secondary education. But it is important within the secondary education space to acknowledge that one important thing we can pursue is to make sure that our secondary education system is skills rich. As a country producing 500,000 secondary graduates annually and 200,000 going to tertiary annually, we must find something for the 300,000 to do. And the best bet would be to ensure that the majority of that 300,000 are participating in programs at the secondary level that gives them employable skills. At present, only 10% of the 580,000 students who are likely to go to a school when the admission window finally closes this year will be doing TVET. And that is very low. In OECD and in Western Europe, the average is 40%. So we must be intentional in expanding not just secondary education infrastructure, but assigning a significant portion, at least 20% of every infrastructural project at the secondary education level to TVET, so that we are creating the pathway for more participation and interest in TVET as well.
Kofi, as always, thank you very much for your time.
That's mine.
Kofi Asamoah is the Executive Director of the Africa Education Watch. Speaking to us there was the back of Minister of Education's announcement that free SHS will now be financed through the Ghana Education Trust Fund, also known as the GET Fund. That's how we end today's edition of Eyewitness News. That came to you live from our studios here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe. Earlier you heard Fafa Melody. Show produced by Juliana Odami. Technical assistance by Desmond Nyakon. Fred Jaban also assisted, as well as Kwabna Wilson. So we'll come your way again tomorrow. May the good Lord be with us all.
Citi News. We speak first.